Hi, my name is Asma, and I will be doing my second sketchbook tour. This was a sketchbook I did from August 2020 till about March 2021, about 6 months. And this is the first time I've completed a full sketchbook within about 6 months. That was a big deal for me. To me, that was like something that I was able to accomplish, and a lot of the stuff in here, I felt like I was able to experiment more with my style, just with the different mediums, and I saw a lot of improvement in the last 6 months in my artwork itself. So I'm pretty happy with the results. So this is the same sketchbook I used for my first sketchbook tour, which is Peter Popper Press sketchbook. It says 192 pages, 96 sheets. I think I've taken out maybe about 5 to 10 pages out of it just for scrap papers and other things like that. So it's not completely that many pages. But another thing I was able to do for this one that I did not do for the other one was that I was able to complete both sides. And I really wanted to do that for this one because, I don't know, I just felt like I was wasting paper for the other one. So for this one, I actually tried filling up both sides of paper. These are my stickers. There are 3 more stickers with this. They're all on my Etsy shop. You want to buy them. And some of the drawings from this are also as postcards on my Etsy shop. So yeah, August 20 to March 2021. These are a lot of the YouTube videos I watch as references. Might be 1 or 2 more that I forgot to put down. This was the first sketch I did in this sketchbook, and honestly, I hadn't drawn at all for like about a year before this. I was just going through stuff, and for me, this doing something was a huge accomplishment, and I was really happy with this. And just kind of like from there, just to know that I was starting something new was really something for me. So yeah, it's like, it might not look like a lot, but for me that was just a huge accomplishment. For these, I use these paper mat, different colors, mechanical pencils. For this, like, I started using fixative on top of my color pencil drawings or mechanical pencil drawings because it smudges the other pages if you leave it as is, just like this, especially if you draw on the other side while this is not fixed onto the paper. This was the start of my squirrel obsession. And a lot of these are on my Etsy page as postcards. These are, I think for these, this is a set of 8 that are like 4 by 6 or something. They're different sets, so this belongs to another set of postcards that are 5 by 7. All 3 of them are in 2 different colors. This I don't have any, I don't do anything with. Squirrels are really cute. Like, just the way they act, the way they dig, the way they eat, they jump around. It's just adorable. It's very fascinating, as well as chipmunks, honestly. Like, the way they eat is just, oh my god, the more they eat, the more the cuter they get. And they keep stuffing their mouths. It's adorable. This is also a set of 2 on my Etsy page. For these, I did red and green, orange and blue, and then there's purple and yellow. And for these, I just use normal 99-cent store pens. They're like basic pen, paper mat, basic, big. These are kind of pens. They're really good. They're cheap, but like you can get a lot with them, and they like you can get a lot of shadings and whatnot with them as well. These are the colored ones so far. They're all Coloris pencils. This one too. This is in pen. I was supposed to do a chipmunk here, but I did not want to put that because I feel like it was already too full, and if I did something here, it would just kind of be too much. So I just decided not to go with the chipmunk. Bunny studies. These are in pen and these are in color pencil. To draw them, it was really fun going over these. This is part of the complimentary chipmunk set. Otter. I really like drawing otters too. They're really adorable. Just everything about them. This is in pen as well. More otter. This was for Halloween. YouTube channels that post live videos of critters or just for animals. They put decorations for like different events. For this, obviously, it was for Halloween. So they had a pumpkin carved out. And it just kind of that inspired me to do this. I did all this and this. I did the sketches first, and then I was gonna go over them with pen and then use the colors for the other stuff. Like for this, I would use the colors for the skull, but then when I used the ink on this, it kind of shows through this, and I did not want to do this, so I just kind of left it as is. I just went over it with a pen, just the outline of it. I didn't want to erase it, so I just kind of left it as is. And yeah, this is also for that. It kind of looks spooky. Uh-oh. Lioness. I think I'm really happy with this one, just the way it turned out. This is from an Instagram artist I follow. They post videos and pictures of squirrels like doing different things, and they're very, very cool. I don't remember the name of it off the top of my head right now, but yeah, if I do, I'll put it on the screen. That one as well. Really cute. Yeah, I'm really happy with these two actually. This is a draw with me video on my YouTube, so if you want to watch that. This is from Margarita Burkova. This is from a Skillshare class. I wanted to try out different different ways of drawing animals, just because I know I do like drawing animals. So it's just, for me, kind of going off my usual drawing methods, just technique, and trying to incorporate someone else's technique and see how that kind of helps me in a way. And this was really, really fun for me. I actually did another one. Yeah. Just really fun class on Skillshare. This is in pen. This is from Chris Hong Art on YouTube. She did a step-by-step tutorial of this, and I kind of follow along. I really like her style, just like the way she incorporates all the colors into one piece. And just the way she goes about her art is just beautiful. The way they come out at the end, it's just, they have this magical feel to them, and it's really, really intrigued by it. For this, I think I did with watercolor. It's really cute. It's mixed media, half in pen, half in watercolor. I got like new Prismacolors that I wanted to try, and I stopped using the colorist ones just to see how it would change and if it would be better. And this is okay, but for these two, like, I usually use more than one color. For these two, I think I used 3 in each of them, and I just did not like the way these turned out. It just, I don't know, it just got muddy. So I stuck to 2 colors. Overall, I feel like, I don't know, like, after working with the Prismacolors, they have a different feel to them than the colorist ones, and so for some reason I feel like I prefer the colorist ones. They have a little bit, I don't know, these look a little muted in a way. They have a different feel to them. I don't know, and I did not notice that at first, but then after a while I was just like, oh, maybe I don't like them as much. These are the gouache, jelly gouache I got. This is from Sarah Burns Studio YouTube. She does live streams where she makes landscapes and whatnot using gouache or watercolor, and it's really helpful. You like to know the techniques she uses. It's really, really nice. I really love watching her YouTube videos. This is where I started doing more of my own pieces, like the abstract pieces. If you know any of my artworks, you would know that I actually do a lot of these kind of pieces where I use watercolor with fine liners to kind of make, like, the kind of go over the details in the fine liner. And I just I've been wanting to do this for a long time, just to kind of shift my art towards more landscapes. So after doing these, I was just kind of like, okay, maybe I can try to do this. So I kind of tried it, and I was honestly very, very happy with the way these came out. I actually made I scanned them in, but I don't know if I'm gonna make anything out of these. If you're interested, please let me know. And I think after this I was just in a mood where I just did not want to do anything. Like, it was just a week or two that was just kind of, I don't know where I was. I just did not want to draw, but I wanted to experiment. I just wanted to kind of put colors down. So that's what I did. I just kind of went along with whatever I was feeling. And for the next few drawings, that's what you see, just the paintings and drawings and pencil color. It's just, overall, it's just everywhere, but it is what it is. It's just what I felt at that time. The washi tape I put on. For this, I have a washi tape here. I used a similar technique as I did for the other one, for these. For this, but not completely. I usually do, if I was doing like my original style, I would kind of go over the whole entire thing with the fine liner. And yeah, like that's how I usually do it. So I just wanted to experiment and see what else I can, like different ways I can do. Just like how I did with this, I kind of blacked out some parts. So I wanted to try that here as well. And I'm really happy with how it came out, like the overall feel of it. And for these, I use stamps. I don't want to draw anything on top of just like using watercolor and whatnot. I could have used pen, but I don't know, I just like the way it all came out. These, I started needle felting recently, and these are the results of that. I honestly had nowhere else to put them, and I wanted to keep them safe. So I was just like, let me just take them into my sketchbook and see. This was just a doodle I did while watching something, I think. And yeah, I think from here on, I just kind of, I wasn't sure like where I wanted to go from here. So I just kind of went back to animals to see if I can mix like the color pencils, the pen. Because I was feeling that way. And for these are watercolor landscapes that I think from here on out, and I just kind of started experimenting more, like idea of landscapes. For this, I just kind of wanted to experiment using colors only and see where that leads me. I used jelly rolls to kind of give it more structure later on because I felt like it needed something. But like I used it for the next 2-3 of them after I was done with all, like a few weeks later, and I just kind of felt like I did too much, especially for this one. Like I did it in the clouds, but then I also did a lot of it for the water, and I just did not like the way it looked. I kind of went over it with a white marker. It helped me fix it a little in a way, and I'm kind of like the overall feel of it, it looks a lot better than it did before, and I'm really happy with the colors. So it's just using the white marker helped a lot. This as well, same thing with this. I used a lot of like the jelly roll for the water, and I really hated the way it looked, so I went over it with the white marker. First I did this in watercolor. A lot of these are using Schmincke watercolors, so like the quality of the watercolor itself is really good, even though the paper is not. It's just cheap sketchbook paper. I felt like just using better watercolors makes a huge difference. I kind of went over like the white parts with the jelly gouache. I don't know, just the feel of it helps so much just to kind of get that opaque white in there. It was just, it changed the way it looked. And then I think later, I'm not sure if I did the jelly rolls first or I did the gouache first, but kind of went over some of the lines of that. I might have done the jelly roll first and then go over it with the gouache. I did not obviously like the jelly roll. From here on, I think I started experimenting more with my own technique, using watercolor, using landscapes. So you see a lot of them. Some I like, some I don't. This one is nice. It's a lot of work, but I feel like putting down the watercolors first, it kind of takes my mind off of what, like if I feel like I need to be drawing whatever, it's not something completely new. I can go back to this and then stop and then go back to this. It just kind of helps me. Got a little messy for this, but I wanted to like do mountains coming out. Maybe if I had used brighter colors. And another one in jelly gouache. I've been wanting to get back into jelly gouache for a while now. I think at the beginning of this year, I just kind of felt like trying new mediums. So I bought jelly gouache, I bought the needle felting kits, and I kind of dabbled into those two. And I think I wanted to do something else as well, I forget. But I'm glad I bought these, honestly. Like, it's just something different, and it honestly helped me. This is in watercolor. I don't think I have any more jelly gouache paints in here. All of the rest of them are in watercolor, maybe using the white marker. Land, water, and then sky. I'm really happy with these two. This, I think, like, you could tell, like, this is a closer version of this, but, like, overall, just, like, the colors and the way the fine liners go on top, it was just, I really like the way it came out. And starting from here, I kind of wanted to, if you notice my drawings from this, they're more like straight. Like a lot of the lines are just kind of going one way or another. But for this, I felt like while I was doing this, it kind of reminded me of that exercise I did with this person's art, Margaret Borkova. Just the lines, and I felt like maybe it came from that, just because I did that exercise, and it kind of incorporated itself into my art as well. And that's why I feel like it's really nice to try and do something in someone else's art style. It helps you develop as well. It helps you become better. It helps you know what techniques they're using and how to work with them. And this actually really helped me back in college while I was doing oil paints, just to kind of do a study of a master for and technique of a master's drawing is painting. It just helps a lot. I really like the way I had fun doing these, but it was really hard. I don't know, it's doing it straight lines like the other ones I did. It's a lot easier than kind of twisting the lines and going over different lines. It's just, and when I scanned them in, I just did not like the results. So I'm not sure if I'm gonna go back to doing this. I really wanted to finish this, and I kind of left it as is after doing the watercolor, and I kind of did the other drawings as first, and then I came back to this and I wanted to finish it, but then I just was not feeling it anymore. I like the colors in it, but I just kind of left it as is after that. Yeah, like the overall feel of them, I don't know if I like them as much. These are the random pages I ripped out of the sketchbook just to use as scrap, and honestly I use the scrap a lot, so it's not that I'm wasting the paper, but yeah, I really need it sometimes kind of to put my hand, if I'm drawing something, I use this to go over like the part there where I have my hand, so it doesn't smudge the part. And this honestly happens with these as well, because sometimes when you put the fine liner down, it takes a few seconds to kind of dry up. Just to be careful, because it has happened where I smudged the line and it just annoys me so much. So now I use a scrap paper. Back to landscapes with the watercolors. With rocks going down, and then this is like the sides of the hill, and it's like the green parts where the sun is hitting. And this is towards the end, and I just kind of, at this point, I was just like, you know, I want to finish I just want to finish the sketchbook. So I just kind of randomly doodled around. For these, I use tapes, and sometimes I keep the tapes because if you use new tape, it rips up the paper. So I use tapes that I have already reuse them, it doesn't rip up the paper as much. So I try to keep the tapes sometimes. And for that, I just took the tapes because I wanted to keep them for a little bit, and I just kind of put them on this paper, and then I went back and kind of drew an A with the tapes and painted around that and doodled around the letter A. For this, I did the watercolor painting first, and then I went over that using, like, the watercolor painting is more abstract. So I wanted to do something on top of that, so I used the brush pen to kind of draw the flower. And I was pretty happy with this actually, because I did this without any initial lines at the bottom, so it just kind of like went in with the brush marker. So I'm pretty happy with the way it came out. And just like the A, I kind of just randomly put the tapes that I had on this paper, and I used watercolor on the back. And then because of this, I wanted to do something similar to that on this. I kind of did the sunflower using the brush marker. I hope you like what you saw in the sketchbook. I had a lot of fun doing this, and I'm really, really happy with the way everything came out for this. Thank you for watching.